Welcome to MSUA's Game Changers Live, where we speak with satellite and mobile connectivity thought leaders about where things are headed in the satellite mobile industry. I'm your host, Lisa Dreer, and I'm excited to introduce our guest for today, Tobias Forsell. He is the CEO, founder, and managing director at Forsway. Welcome to the show, Tobias.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lisa. Really nice to be here. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you can start by giving us a little bit of background on yourself and Forsway.
Yeah, well, a little bit about me. My background is more or less Forsway, but actually because I've been running Forsway for quite a long time. But before that, I was working at Nokia in the Nokia set-top box division when in the start of the digital TV and that type of when digital TV entered the market there. So I was involved doing set-top boxes, everything from starting in factory, building test equipment to ending up like product management for yeah, let's say the global part there. But I always been around when working with satellite and satellite solutions and moving from TV to broadband services there. So that's basically my background.
Great. And so maybe you can tell us a little bit about Forsway and what you're working on right now.
Right, right. Yeah, as Forsway has been quite around for quite some time, we have basically been working with hybrid connectivity solutions since our start in the well, 2005, 6, something like that. Uh, but that has moved from being just a box thing to a complete system, and now it has been even more by integrating satellite and mobile technologies into our concept there. So currently, we still are working with our, let's say, existing products that we have, which is basically giving basic connectivity to people and boosting existing poorly served networks. But on top of that, we have now recently started to even further go into content distribution, meaning that we use the connectivity parts to provide broadcast or not really broadcast, but more streaming content or content distribution to people that don't really have broadband. So that is where we are right now in starting to uh, include those type of services in our new technical platform and the products that we have going out on the market right now.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So I know that I've seen some news and posts from you and your team, and you've talked a lot about providing connectivity where maybe it's not as available. So rural areas and things like that. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, let's say our angle has always been to trying to approach the mass market by having like a low cost solution, and sometimes the low cost solution gives some drawback in terms of performance and so on there. But we have tried to do that and try to combine technologies and find what type of infrastructure exists, and then we use that. So and combine that with satellites. So in case of, let's say, yeah, Africa, India, or Southeast Asia, where you maybe have like still 3G networks, or in some cases even poor 2G networks, we could use them and boost that type of connectivity. But not only in those regions, it could also be in Europe, in US, where you have copper lines. You basically have a copper line that is poorly served, and there you can come in with our solution and basically boost the copper line. So if you come household that never can have more than 2 to 4 megabit, we can boost that to maybe 20, 30 megabit by receive only over satellite, like standard TV dishes. So that is the whole concept, to use existing fairly cheap equipment and combine that and do that in a smart way to achieve something better. So that's a little bit on our take where we come from in let's say the low end segment, and try to build a service that performance wise match very well with all other type of existing technical solutions for connecting the so to say underserved.
Got it. Got it. So, what are some of the key industry trends that are influencing what your company is working on now?
Yeah, I would say that the key trends for us is actually what we have been working on all the time, is to see how mobile and satellite industry are trying to merge together and do a lot of initiatives on how 5G and satellite can work together, etc. This is the work that we have been doing quite a lot for a long time, even if we have done it in a different type of context where we have used existing technologies, existing mobile, existing satellites. But now we see the trends that this is moving quicker and quicker, and there are more and more initiatives around that. And of course, together with let's say trends and so on, that you see all the Leo stuff and everything that drives the awareness of satellite to something completely different than it has been before. So all of that makes it very interesting to be in the middle of that. We work with satellite stuff, we work with mobile stuff, we work with other technologies as well, and combine that. So our, let's say, software core can use two or several technologies and merge them into one box and then create a better connectivity or better performance or whatever there. So that is the whole idea there. And also to make it affordable. That's also one important thing there.
What are some of the biggest challenges in kind of combining the satellite networks with the cellular networks?
Yeah, I would say that it's not a technical thing for us as a fairly small company. The challenge is to find the people at, let's say, our customers' place that really owns the problem. Meaning that there are many people in big companies and big organizations that work with satellite parts. There are many working with the mobile part, but there is no one really that works with the combination of it. And that has been a little bit of a challenge for a small company, because it
Mhm.
has been, even if the technology works and if no one really knows where to land, let's say, a new product in their portfolio and so on there, and who are we going to address this? Is it a TV product that provides content distribution, or is it a mobile product, or is it what is the solution? So that has been a little bit of the challenge for us there, to really being able to position it. Now we have been working so long, so we know that the technology works, it helps people. Now we start to see that it could even be so that companies are making money out of these hybrid systems. So that's where we are right now. Now we see that there are a few companies that actually have deployed it and start to make a little bit of money out of it. And now we start to scale it up in a different context all around the world.
Wow. So when you think about this, it sounds like the partnerships are possibly a really important aspect to this. Is that the case?
Yeah, absolutely. As we sit here up in Sweden and develop these things, and many of our customers are pretty remote and far. And so for us, it's very important to find good partners in more or less every market where we work. Even partner could be, of course, our customers, but it could also be our let's say system integrators that can knows much better about how to position such a product in a certain market. Maybe it's not exactly how we think that it should be used, etc. So it could
Mhm.
be done in many different ways. So we have started up a number of partnerships in different markets. So it's something that we will continue to do, and we
Mhm.
look for, let's say, companies that are capable of bringing in something new to the table, basically.
Got it. What are some of the most, I guess, unique use cases that you have supported?
Well, we have a number of different use cases. We have been working, or we are working in Asia with a couple of projects. One is basically where we go in and boost poorly served connected schools.
Okay.
They have already had something before, and it could have been a mobile connection, it could have been a poor DSL, it could even have been like VSAT systems. So we, independent of what they had, we go in there and we use what they actually have, and then boost that with the satellite service. And our software can be capable of using the existing technologies in combination with the new one. So that is one thing. Another thing that also we are doing in Asia at the moment is basically it's remote libraries. You can place a small kiosk out in a suburb or in a remote location where there are people, and where we then push down a lot of content into that kiosk, and they can either order or rent with their mobiles or a QR code and so on there, and a movie or an ebook or something.
Yeah.
And we update that all the time, and you could either order it from a library that exists, and you can also order it to get it the next day there if it's not available in the kiosk there. So everything is very, very low cost and basic, but it makes a difference for people. And we still remember there are quite a lot of billion people that don't really have connectivity, and it's for them these type of use cases we have there.
That's
And
wonderful.
and then now we have talked about a little bit of the let's say the underserved, but we have also started up together with a partner in UK, Extendnet, where we boost ADSL services in south of London there. So that is a fairly new service that we together with our partner in UK are just have been launched and starting to promote a little bit there as well.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Gosh, really exciting. So, are there new things coming down the pike that you want to talk about?
Yeah, well, we always try to be fairly in the front line, not the first one, but following what is going on. And of course, we are trying to look on how our take on the LEO satellites are doing. So that is something that we are doing, working together with other companies here in Sweden, and to see how we can be positioned in when LEO's moving forward, and how that could work together and interact with geosystems and so on there, and maybe it's combination products, etc. So that is something that is we constantly are working with, but we are also looking in how will the next generation of SATCOM system look like. There are, of course, new initiatives coming for how we can interact even further with the mobile segment there. Then we see that there are new guidelines on how to incorporate mobile or 5G and satellites in their last release of 3GPP, where it makes quite interesting on how we can have a 5G architecture in satellites, meaning that we build out our hybrid system by adding satellite return into the service, and so then it could be like totally seamless for the user in terms of which type of technology is being used there. So that is something that we are following fairly deep, and we do have projects ongoing on that there. So it's as we are like a innovation company in Satcom, we need to follow these type of trends, and of course working with the partners that can help us make this type of products in the long run there.
Very exciting. Okay, so I want to end with one last question. And as you may know, we are celebrating MSUA's, or the Mobile Satellite Users Association's 31st anniversary this year.
Wow.
And I know, right? So with that in mind, thinking about how much things have changed in the last 30 years or so, what would be your one prediction about the next 30 years?
All right, I've been working with Forsway for like 15 years, and to me it feels like I've been working more or less with the same type of things all the time there, even if it has changed quite a lot. So I will be quite like down to earth in my prediction. It won't go that quick actually, but I do think that satellites will play an important role in many well, it already does, but even more in the daily lives of people's lives. And it will be an integrated part in whether it's mobile, whether it's cable or wireless, etc. But it will always be there, satellites in many different ways. So I see all the initiatives, whether it's LEO, GEO, MEO, or whatever you have there. There will probably come other types of solutions, but satellites will always play an important role there. So yeah, I will probably be quite old at that time. So but I'm sure I will be using satellites in my daily life in 30 years and 31 years.
Fantastic. I know. I think that we probably don't realize how much we are using satellites in our everyday lives as it is. So
Right.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today, Tobias. If people want to learn more about Forsway, what should they do?
Well, they could even either follow us on the LinkedIn on Forsway, but of course we have our webpage on Forsway, and where they can find me and my colleagues. So yeah, they're absolutely welcome to contact us anytime. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And I do want to take a moment to thank the Mobile Satellite Users Association for hosting these sessions. You can learn more about the MSUA at msua.org. And we do have our annual Satellite Mobile Innovation Awards coming up. The nominations close this week. So if you're interested in submitting nominations, be sure to get those in by Friday. That's tomorrow. Anyway, and then, of course, feel free to visit msua.org to subscribe to our weekly newsletter that gives you all the latest on satellite mobile innovations and what's happening in the industry. And we hope to see you next time on MSUA's Game Changers Live.